Part one was so much fun. We had to do a part two. So, what will it require if you aspire to build an entire expert empire? We're here to inspire, infuse you with fire, give you the tips and tactics and tools, just the headlines, news you can use so you can build one too. Get ready, y'all. Part two coming at you now. Oh.
All right, well, welcome back to the Kingdom Builders Academy podcast. We are picking up with part two of how we built a multi-million-dollar coaching empire. So we really started last episode, with the story of Coach Tam, of Get Motivated, the rise, the fall, and then the call to start Kingdom Builders Academy. But we didn't have time to go into the last 10 years of the lessons learned in building this brand, business, and ministry of Kingdom Builders Academy. And we want to dive back into that. So, Coach Tam, you kind of left off saying that you started with boot camp. You had this $2,000 30-day online course. You started a private mentorship group. You had 12 people, wanted to keep it to the 12 disciples, but then felt called to grow it. And you did that. Let's make it kind of really easy, round numbers. It's been about 10 years. First 5 years or so, let's say 2012 to 2017, you kind of did that. And then 2017, I came into the picture, and I've got a few things to share from 2017 to the current day. But Coach Tam, fill us in on what were those first few years of scaling from 12 to a couple hundred.
I'm going to do that. But first, before I do that, I want to invite Sunny Bunny to tell a little story, because I find that when people are thinking about how do I monetize as a speaker and as an author, I'm just going to cut to the chase for you. I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to cut years off the hurt curve for you. And I'm going to tell you the answer is a high ticket backend offer, and coaching is the offer. Okay. So you just got all the value you will ever need listening to this podcast and what I just said. Okay. That's going to help you to monetize. So I remember at the beginning when I was first getting coaching clients and so on, and I'm telling this for a reason, is that most people who start coaching feel insecure. And Sunny Bunny is a prime example of this. So I asked Coach Jillian, I said, Coach Jillian, I want you to come on a webinar with me. I want you to talk. I want you to share. You're so entertaining. And she said, what did you say, Jillian?
Yeah, I said, I can't do that. And I said, I can't do that. I said, what would I talk about? You said anything. Talk about anything. You could talk about makeup. You could talk about this. You could talk about that. I said, nope on a rope. It's a nope on a rope for me.
You did. She turned me down, and I was like, you're made for this.
I think I turned you down for like 2 years.
Yeah, well, Zack too. I invited Zack to be a part of KBA. He turned me down for years as well.
That was like that was one of your big, I guess, strategic initiatives, was this lobbying of me and Jillian.
I am nothing if not persistent. I will get my team. So then Jillian finally does her first coaching call for Kingdom Builders Academy. You remember that, Jillian?
Of course I remember. And I had Donna Jo, our beloved Donna Jo, who was on our superhero team. And we gathered together, and I just asked, I said, Donna Jo, I just need you to come into agreement with me. And she's very focused, like can be kind of appear to be very serious. I said, I need you to link your shield of faith with me. She said, yes. What can we pray over? I said, right now, we're going to come before the Lord in prayer. We're going to align our faith, and we are going to say in Jesus' name that no one will appear today on my coaching call. And I was as serious as a heart attack. And she was very confusified by what I had said. And she just said, wait, what? I said, we're going to just pray right now that no one is going to come here. And that did work. It did work for 14 minutes. We forgot we were even recording. I was so petrified. I had never done coaching. I didn't know how to be a coach. I wasn't trained. I didn't have a degree. I didn't know what I was going to say. I was sweating. I didn't want to see anyone's face pop up on Zoom. No can do. I wanted nobody there. And then 14 minutes in, we forgot we were recording. And all of a sudden, a square popped up. And I said, "What is that?" And she goes, Donna Jo goes, "It's a participant." She's very diplomatic. And I said, "It's what?" She goes, "Someone's coming to the coaching." And I looked up and it was Mama Judy Reed, a precious, precious longtime member of our inner circle community. And I just looked at her and she looked at me. And then I looked at Donna Jo and I went, "Oh my goodness. Wow, we have really got ourselves into a pickle here." But I will
But you
say
know
that
what? That's the
yeah,
experience of everybody.
right.
Everybody, including me. I had all these decades of experience as a public speaker and as an author, and I'd been coaching celebrities forever. And yet, when I took in my first clients, I felt that sense of overwhelm. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? But the coaching part of it is like falling off a log backwards, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like
Yeah.
you just open up and break bread with people. You give them the benefit of your experience. That's the easy part, and that's
And
what
the
you'll
people
find.
will tell you what they need. That's what I found is that
Right.
they will tell you what they need. They're going to share with you where they're not getting it, where they're feeling stuck, where they feel behind, where they're struggling. I mean, I became a lead magnet queen. I was holding 2 and 3 hour coaching sessions with 23 people at a time. So if I can do it, you can do it. Trust me.
Yeah. Zach has an expression. What is it, Zach? Like the worrying about it is worse than the work or
Yeah, the
something. I can't
worry
remember.
is worse than the work. Like we get everybody I think gets in these like, ruts of like fear and anxiousness and oh, I don't want to do it. I don't think I can. It's not going to go well. I'm not ready for this. It's bad timing. Who am I? All of that is so much worse than actually doing the work.
Absolutely.
The work that you're called to, the work that you're supposed to do, that thing, that next project, that next step, that first thing. I promise you, worrying, waiting, wondering, all of that is worse than the work. The worry is worse than the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So, okay, back to the lobbying. So then I
Mhm.
said, Zach, what are you going to do now? He graduated from college. He says, I'm going into financial planning, financial services. So he did that for a while. And periodically I would say, okay, why don't you come? I believe you're called to work with me at Kingdom Builders Academy. And he kept saying no. He kept saying no, but I kept saying, I really believe this is true. And I kept petitioning him. And so I I said, Zach, here's the thing is that the Holy Spirit and my students are saying I need to open this up to more than 12 people. And I don't want to do it because I've built a business with 200 employees and I know what it's like. And I don't want to do that, but you have the juice for it. You have the ability to do it. I will be the poster girl. I will keep doing what I'm doing and what I'm called to and what I'm good at. And you can grow this thing. And so, Zach, what finally tipped the needle for you?
Yeah, I think honestly, what it kinda came down to was you made me a no-brainer offer. This is something we talk about a lot. My favorite kinda offer is a no-brainer offer. Like, I
Yeah.
can't say no. I would be a fool to pass on this kind of offer. And I realized that, my best reason for not wanting to work with my mom and build kingdom builders with her was pride. That was my best reason. My best reasoning to not do it was I want to do my own thing. I want to have my own business. I don't want to work, on someone else's business and, not start it myself and like be the guy.
You are the
That was my
guy,
best.
Zach. Everybody will say it. You're the man. Well,
Well, that was my when I realized that was my best reason to not do it was pride. Okay, I don't really have a good enough reason not to do it. So, that was 2017, and I jumped into Kingdom Builders, had some ideas, but I'll tell you the first lesson that I learned, the first kind of, early takeaway after, like, the first couple years was that it really took me a year, a full year, just to kind of figure out the industry.
yeah.
And then all the growth came after that. So Coach Tam, you had obviously had a great start and had already scaled to $1 million and kind of were in this like kind of autopilot stage
Mhm, mhm.
with Kingdom Builders. Like, look, I'm serving, I'm equipping, I've been there, I've done it. So, I'm happy with where I'm at. But you felt the Lord saying, we want to grow, and I guess wanted me to come along for that journey. And I got to step into kind of like an operator role, of like where can we actually fortify what we're doing? Like, how can we improve what we're doing? And then how can we grow it? And this was my first teachable moment, I think, for everybody listening to the Kingdom Builders Academy podcast, was that it took a year just to figure out the industry. Like, I had a degree in business and finance and entrepreneurship, and I'd built a financial portfolio doing retirement planning and financial services. I'd done business, but this industry, while it is, I believe, like the best industry to be in,
No question.
this like influencer, writing,
Yep,
speaking, coaching, thought leader with the modern day tools we have, it's like the best industry to be in, I think.
for sure.
But it took a year to learn. It took a year just to figure out the industry, to learn the industry, and then all the growth happened after that. So everybody, even like our members that are here on the podcast with us live, and anybody listening who's like, trying to start a business, trying to break through as a writer, speaker, coach, influencer, online entrepreneur, it took me a year. I'm a pretty quick learner. I'm a pretty smart guy. I had a really great mentor. Still took me a full year just to figure out the industry, just to kind of, get the lay of the land. And then all the growth happened after the first year.
Right. And that I think that's one of the real benefits that we have in our community is that you're a strategist and I'm a strategist and we develop systems and formulas, fill in the blank, paint by numbers to really make it easy for people. We don't say, do it yourself. We're going to give you everything that we have as much as we can. And so I think having those systems and strategies really helps to consolidate the understanding of the industry so that you can learn the skills, you can implement them, you can get clients while learning like how to do podcasting or webinars or videos or online marketing. We have systems for all of that. And so that's the easy way. Do it yourself is death in increments. It's just a slow death. And so many people have experienced that and it's demoralizing because I'm part of the reason that I was very motivated to start Builders Academy when God called me to it is because I knew so many talented people, so many gifted speakers, so many people with amazing stories, and they're brilliant. And I'm thinking, why are you not a household name? You're brilliant, you're funny, you're enlightening, but they didn't know the marketing side. They didn't know the industry. They're working on this paradigm of, oh, if I just tell people I'm a speaker. If I just write a book, then people are going to book me to speak. And even if that worked, which it usually doesn't, but even if it did, then what? Then what? You're getting like, $800 honorariums. Come on, man. Like that is not a winning strategy. So actually, after I had my first group of boot camp, so I started with this online course called Boot Camp, and I filmed the modules, and then the folks who signed up for it at Dr. Lance Wallnow's event, they would go online, watch the modules, and then on Saturdays, I would get on a phone call with them for an hour and a half and answer their questions. And at about the 3-week mark, I think I had included 5 coaching sessions with them. On week 3, I had a student, her name was Jackie, and Jackie said, "Coach Tam, I feel like I'm getting addicted to you." She said, I've spent a lot of money on coaching, I've spent a lot of money on programs, but I've never had a mentor that gave me the real deal answers. And she said, I'm just concerned that after this is over, I'm going to lose you. And then I'm not going to have anybody to ask my questions to. So, my question is, are you going to be doing an ongoing mentorship program? And do you know that was the first time the thought crossed my mind? But I have a fundamental belief system, which is that when people are trying to give you money, you should let them. And so I said, absolutely. I'm going to be doing an ongoing coaching program. And that was really how our inner circle program was born. So, Zach, you asked a question earlier about how did we scale this thing from 12 people to hundreds,
Yeah.
moving into thousands, right? How did we scale this thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this whole business building, brand building, ministry building, impact, influence, income, there can be, right, like an infinite number of variables, right? There's a number of things you could do. There's always like 100 good ideas, even 1,000 good ideas that, on paper sound like that's a good idea, that's a good idea, that's a good idea. But at the end of the day, you can only do like a few of them.
Yeah.
So project selection becomes pretty important. And having I think a framework or just a simple model that you can look at to kind of explain the whole business really helps. So one of the kind of the frameworks that we've developed that we use for ourselves in figuring out how are we going to grow our business, and that what we teach for how are we going to help our members grow their brands, businesses, and ministries, is it comes down to kind of three key elements: offer, funnel, traffic. Like that's what we really consider like kind of the big 3, and that if you can check those 3 boxes, you're going to have a good business. You're gonna have like a solid business that serves people well, that makes a great impact, and that is scalable. And meaning you can grow it. Offer is just like, what do you have that people want, right? A little bit of what we talked about on our first podcast episode, like what do you have to give that people want? And we package that and we price it and we promote it in a certain way. We've got to have that kind of high ticket back end offer you were talking about, Coach Tam.
Right.
That's the first piece. The second piece is the funnel, which is the how do we turn people who are listening, who hear us speak, who follow us on Facebook or whatever, how do we turn those people into paying clients? How do we move them into our offer? That's your funnel. And then the traffic is how do we get the people listening in the first place?
Right.
Right. So there's a number of things that you can do for the offer. There's a number of different things that you can do, different types of funnels. There's different types of traffic sources. So we'll get into all that stuff, you know, in the coming episodes on the podcast. But I think it starts there. Those are like the foundational pillars of, look, we had a great offer. We built a good funnel. We built a good traffic source. Those were the pillars. But here's where I want to really kind of make a broader point to kind of everybody listening, which is as you're doing these things, as you build your offer, as you build your funnel, as you build your traffic sources, this is like highlight this, star this kind of thing. Remember this is that if you find something that works and like really works, like honestly, like overperforms expectations, do that again and
Yeah.
again and
Double
again.
down.
It's pretty rare, honestly, that you're going to do a project or a launch or release something or promote something or start something, and it's going to exceed your expectations. Most of the time we have this great goal. We think it's going to go this way. And then it's like, it kind of underperforms, right? Like that's how it naturally is, I think, for most people. Whenever you have something that overperforms, that exceeds expectations, that works beyond what we planned for it to work, that is like a ding, 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 like gold flashing light. Do
Right.
this
Pay
again.
attention. Pay
Do this
attention to
again.
me. Do it
Do it
again
again and again and again.
and again
So we
and
found a few of those things. We found a few of those things, like our free 3-day live online events. Like that was something that, just got great results, and we learned to do it again and again and again.
right.
And I think by simplifying and doubling down on the things that work, those were needle movers in terms of how we scaled.
Right. And this is the problem, though, with so many people in business and ministry is that they almost have like ADD. It's like, oh, I've got to do a new message. I've got to do a new product. I need to do a new book. I need to do a new webinar. I need to do a new series, right? No, you don't. No, you don't. You can do what we did with Get Motivated seminars is we do the same seminar. We just change the audience. We just get a new audience, right? So I can do boot camp, and I did for over 100,000 people have been through my online course boot camp, how to build your brand, business, and ministry, right? And it's the same message, but I've got new people who are participating in it. And so if you will keep your focus on that winner of an idea, if people love it, don't move on to the next thing. We had a student a couple years ago who had this absolutely incredible marketing title, and people signed up for it in droves. And she did 2 or 3 rounds of it, and then she started getting shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that butterfly over there? Maybe I could do this project. I could do this product, right? I said, don't do that. Don't do that. It's going to kill your business. It's going to kill the thing God has already placed his favor on. You can see it. It's evidenced by the fact that you have people paying big bucks to do this thing. So you're getting a little antsy. You want to do something new, but don't try and build a new business model. But she didn't listen. And she tanked that business. She absolutely tanked that business. Now here it is 3 years later, and she's, trying to put the defibrillators on it and resurrect it, and it has legs, like, the thing is good, so it will come back to life, but she wasted 3 years getting distracted.
Yeah.
So keep your focus on that one thing that people want. You see that you're getting a great response. Don't get distracted, just stick with it. Stick
Yeah.
with That's how we built this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're so right. That is definitely one of the biggest diseases I think that young entrepreneurs and young influencers, not in terms of their age, but in terms of like just getting started, struggle with is like, oh, I want to help this person, I want to help this person, I want to do this product, I want to do this product. You've got to pretty much have like one niche, one target market, one offer,
Right.
like
I do.
one place that you get traffic, and one way that you turn that traffic into paying clients. Like one thing, like really simplify it. Like, what's my niche? Who's my target audience? What's the one offer that I can create that's going to get them results? What's the one place that I'm going to drive traffic through? And what's the one way I'm going to turn my traffic into paying clients? Simplify it. Just do that. And it's okay to like, I tried this offer, I tried this niche and it didn't work. It's okay to try something different. But once you hit on something,
Right.
like say you want to teach, like, look, here's the thing is that like so many creators and thought leaders are brilliant in multiple different areas, right? You could coach on finances, you could coach on relationships, you could coach on business, you could coach on communication. It's okay, like, try this, try that, but as soon as you find one that works, just stick with it, Like, if you've got a great financial planning offer, build that thing. Don't do like, "Oh, well, my people also have relationship problems. Let me do a relationship offer too for my people." That's self-sabotage. It is. We've just seen it too many times.
And I'll tell you something, with regard to traffic, how you get people interested. It's the same thing with that. So there's a number of different ways to get people interested in what you're doing to offer them that one offer that you have. So maybe you're doing public speaking, or maybe you're doing social media marketing. Maybe you're doing a podcast like this, or there's a lot of different ways that you can do it, and I think it's important really that you learn all these different ways, but there will be something that sort of sticks, that sort of fits you hand in glove. Like I remember when I first started doing video, when I produced that online course of boot camp, I didn't realize that video is my medium. I had no idea. I was a live public speaker pretty much all my life. And then all of a sudden I had $100,000 of customer cash in hand. I figured out how to set up a studio in my home. I got a teleprompter. I wrote the script. I put it up on the teleprompter. I filmed it myself and I edited it myself. I didn't know how to edit, but I figured it out. I edited the video myself. And I remember editing the video and thinking, wow, this is going to be super tedious. I really liked it. And I thought, wow, I'm good on video. I didn't know that. I'm good on video. It's cute life, and it was kind of a revelation for me. But you'll find something that fits you hand in glove. Maybe it's going to be public speaking. Maybe it's going to be YouTube. Maybe that's where your traffic source is going to come through. Maybe you're going to start a podcast, and that's going to be the thing that really fits you, and people are drawn to that thing. But once you find that, don't spread yourself too thin in all these other ways. Really capitalize on that traffic source that is working. Just keep doing that. Stay focused on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. And I know, Coach Tam, we could go on this kind of vein all day of traffic and funnel and offers and the right way to do it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, like this is what we get really excited about is doing the right things the right way in the right order. And Coach Tam, I think one of the first things that you said in part one, what you did to build to launch this brand business and ministry was find a proven model. Find someone who had done it who had something that was working with the offer, the funnel, the traffic, and then like kind of learn the ropes, just like accelerate your learning by finding something that's already working. That was a key for us. I know that's a key for every every startup thought leader, entrepreneur, and influencer is find a proven model, simplify, and don't spread yourself too thin. Like really focus, find the one thing,
Mhm.
find a mentor, and have the capacity for tenacity. Maybe Coach Tam, I'll leave you with the last word on the capacity for tenacity.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that it's really important because there's so many components, so many moving parts when you talk about scaling a legitimate brand business and ministry. I'm not talking about the do it yourself, the try and fail. The thing that I love about this industry, besides the freedom that it gives you, because we have the freedom to travel the world. All we need is a phone, computer, a Wi-Fi signal, and we're in business. This year, I traveled to 21 countries this year, doing my business the whole time, having the freedom over my schedule, being able to transform lives from anywhere in the world. You guys, millions and millions and millions of people are doing this, and you can do it too, but you can't do it using the conventional wisdom model, which is keep on doing what you know doesn't work. You try it, you fail, you're not getting clients, and so you try it again. Just stop that. This is the thing I love about our industry is that the numbers don't lie. You know when you've hit on something, when people are so interested, they're willing to plunk down plastic. They'll say, "Yeah, I'll sign up for that," right? And if they're not doing that, you're not doing the right thing. Stop doing the thing that doesn't work and start doing the thing that does work, and you're gonna need a proven model for that.
Yeah.
Great session today. Love the pod.
Yeah, I love it. We've got all kinds of ideas, I think, of different episodes we could do now. I know we could have kind of spun in like a dozen different directions of things that we wanted to get into, but love to get to do this with you, Coach Tam. We'll take some questions from our members and we'll pick up the podcast same time, same place next week.